The Turkish Grand Prix, it's lights out and away we go, and they are crawling off the line, especially Max Verstappen.
Hello Formula One fans, welcome to Formula Pun Racer. I'm your host Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders. Today is November 19th, 2020. You're here because you want to see my review of the Turkish Grand Prix. Well, as I have a nice turkey lunch, as I also wait for what's coming in 168 hours from now, Thanksgiving Day, so if you think the Turkish Grand Prix was quite cold turkey for the drivers, prepare to get some of your turkey yourself. Lewis Hamilton was interestingly not on the front row at the start of the race, but guess who was? Lance Stroll of Canada, driving for Racing Point.
Say what?
The first time a Canadian has started on pole in F1 since Jacques Villeneuve in '96. Pretty surprising, isn't it? And his teammate Sergio Perez would start third. Max Verstappen of Red Bull started second. But interestingly enough, in spite of it all, through the trials and tribulations that the repaved and very slippery Turkish track had caused, somehow Lewis Hamilton came up from anywhere but lower than 5th place to take the win. But interestingly enough, who finished second? Sergio Perez finished second. Surprise, surprise, Sebastian Vettel finished third for Ferrari. Lance Stroll was starting well, but some debris got caught up in the underside of his wing where you couldn't see, and that affected his momentum, so he slipped back to 8th place. Leclerc could have had a podium finish, but his car kind of hiccuped with a few turns to go on the final lap. It's really sad to see Sergio Perez on his way out of Racing Point because out of a drive, because what's he going to do? It's a shame, because with his second place finish for Racing Point, it gives a lot of Mexicans something to talk about. It is interesting as well to see that Sebastian Vettel, his replacement, ironically finishing behind him in third. As for Bottas, couldn't begin to tell you what happened to him. Well, this makes Lewis Hamilton his 94th Formula One win. And with Sergio Perez a second place finish, it just goes to show that he's indeed the best of the rest when it comes to the midfielders. Racing Point is definitely ahead in the Constructors' title, ahead of Ferrari to say the least. In fact, Sergio Perez is 4th in the Drivers' Championship, but once again, best of the rest. Bottas is 2nd and Verstappen is 3rd, and Hamilton has already won the championship by winning in Turkey. So he's now equal with Michael Schumacher in 7 world championships. But we can tell that his contract with Mercedes is about to be renewed, and his racing momentum and dominance is not about to stop there. Oh no. But people do see people like Leclerc and Verstappen, and if this hadn't come to pass, Perez, the stars of the future. As for the current Haas drivers, Kevin Magnussen, the Danish butter cookie, and Romain Grosjean, the French croissant, whose contract expires at the end of this season with Haas, they have possibility talks of going into IndyCar racing next year. I hope that works out, because we could use a Dane in IndyCar racing, as well as another Frenchman that's not of Penske. Will that happen? Who knows? Will Sergio Perez come to IndyCar? That'd be neat. And if he were to team up with Pato O'Ward at McLaren, as Zach Brown at McLaren has taken a shine to Sergio indeed. Well, in Sebring news, Mazda had won overall, and while Helio Castroneves for a long time was never able to become a champion in any way whatsoever, be it Indy Lights or IndyCar, although he had 3 Indy 500 wins, as a result of where he finished, his teammates at the Penske Acura team finally won an IMSA championship. Congratulations, Helio Castroneves. And since you're a Dancing with the Stars contestant, I'm sure you're dancing toe and Helio in excitement. While Max Verstappen's seat at Red Bull is secure for 2021, what is to be decided is, will Alexander Albon continue to be his teammate for next year, or will he be replaced, and if so, by whom? Could it be Nico Hülkenberg, Sergio Perez, or someone else? That is to be decided, because while Perez wants to stay in Formula One and while he wants to win, Red Bull seems his best bet, but I wouldn't bet on it. So I wouldn't be quick to charge like a bull for Red Bull just yet. Well, let's see what happens. It would be great to see if Perez does. And as for the sister team AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly most likely seems to stay in his spot, while Danny Kvyat of Russia, I guess it's time to say, Das Vidanya, comrade. Good luck if you can find another spot in F1 racing. To get back to this 12 hours of Sebring, when I said that Helio Castroneves has finally become a champion in some capacity, in 2021 he's not driving in a Penske entry for I think 6 races, I believe? Indianapolis 500 for sure. Helio Castroneves is set to be Jack Harvey's teammate at Meyer-Shank Racing, so it's good to know, with Helio driving for anyone but Penske, driving for with Harvey as his teammate, he's definitely worth Jack. Now here's an electrifying conclusion in the world of open-wheel racing. Formula E racing is no longer going to be televised in the US by Fox Sports, but for the first time, starting in 2021, it'll be going to CBS Sports Network.
Quick, change the channel!
Now there's a channel that has a eye for racing. The next round in F1 takes place on November 30th in Bahrain. Will Lewis Hamilton make it 95 wins and 5 wins in a row? Or will someone else actually be on the top podium in Bahrain? Tune in by then. But for the moment, all of you have a happy Thanksgiving and stay safe during this pandemic. If you like my video, click the button below to subscribe to Formula Pun Racer. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.